It is the homemade broadcast episode 554. My name's Will Kuncz. On Hummel next to me here.
What's up?
What's up, dude? I can't turn my head. It says, look at you.
What happened?
I don't know. My body is rejecting. Yeah, it's really. Well, I mean, I've had back and neck pain for many, many years. And sometimes it just flares up. Something gets lodged and I can't move.
Do you see a chiropractor?
I was looking for my old I do, and that helps me feel better. It usually fixes it immediately. Then I start to ache again the next day, but it's a manageable ache.
Yeah.
At least I don't have like a pinched nerve
right
type of situation going.
Do you believe in chiropractics?
Well,
in the sense of like, here's the thing. Does
Yeah.
it make you feel better?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But like, does it really do anything for you long term? Is it possibly damaging you in ways that you're unaware? Probably.
Maybe.
Probably not supposed to snap your neck like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's violent.
You know, I really got kind of turned off because I don't know if you remember, but at Johnny's wedding, one of his buddies, his wife, do you remember this story?
No.
Went to a chiropractor and they did the neck thing and they like severed the main vein.
She's paralyzed.
I think she was okay, believe it or not.
Who do I know the friend?
I can't remember his name.
Okay.
I'm so bad with names.
Was she in attendance or she was like...
She was not. He was in the wedding. He was like a main dude in the wedding. He was no, it wasn't a comic. He was kind of short, like Asian, like East Asian, glasses, kind of chunky.
Yeah, but his wife had an incident with a chiropractor.
Yeah. Snapped her, what do you call that? The big vein? The one you definitely do not. Aside from the one in your leg, the one in your neck.
Carotid?
Yeah, the carotid.
The artery?
Yeah, snapped it, and it just...
It burst.
Yep.
Oh, that's not good.
And she survived. You would think that's one that goes to your brain.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a major issue.
That's a problem. That's the one we talk about a lot in jiu-jitsu because if you have enough pressure on both sides of them, you will go out in a matter of seconds.
Yeah. Oh, she went out. She did go out, but they did revive her. And I think she's probably a millionaire now.
Oh, well,
obviously there's going to be a lawsuit. They carry a lot of liability insurance. I would imagine you'd have to, if you're in that line of work, just in case you, I don't know, tear somebody's artery or something like that.
I'm mostly concerned about being paralyzed.
Because
if I ever, just for the record, if I ever like become paralyzed, I want to be euthanized.
See, you say that now, but I feel like you would change your mind.
I don't want to be in the Paralympics. I want to be in grave. Is that wrong to say?
Well, I mean, that's your preference. I certainly can't fault you for that.
Yeah.
But, so we do have some good news. We did find out, I believe I've solved the call problem. So you can call live on air. Now, this is not...
Joe, relax.
Joe's already...
Joe, relax.
So you can do that. Now, we're at the mercy of Anna here. Anna's going to be in control of the telephone that does that. And this is not a high-end, radio station. This is a podcast that we do online. So we're going to do our best to try to get to those, to figure it out. But if you want to call, I'm not saying we're even going to get, I don't know. This is an experiment. So if you want to, you have to be patient with us. It's 813-693-2124. That's the phone number. You can call live now. It should be scrolling across the screen here. 813-693-2124. There it is. Here it comes. And you can do that. If you're listening on Wednesday, obviously we're live here on YouTube and Rumble and Facebook. And we are on Substack now as well, hmbradio.substack.com. You can get the whole unedited conversation, which has been going way longer than We'll take their first call. Hello. I knew it was. I knew it was. Hi, Joe.
What's up, Joe?
Don't curse, because we got Radio St. Pete right now, okay? Yeah. You mean from the phone or from the video? Oh, okay. Oh.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Let me check. See, this is a good thing. Let me check the settings here, Joe. While I got you. Joe, what's up in your world? Did you hear what Anna said just now about wanting to be dead?
Oh. Oh, Jesus.
It'd be a lot better than the Groundhog Day that I'm here every morning. I wake up and go through the same routine with the same evil people that just absolutely suck and are working against me instead of working with me and make my life a living hell. And I've had a lot of that today and yesterday and even the day before. So it seems to be every day, and I'm not complaining. I'm just updating and informing.
Well, we appreciate that. And also, by the way, when you sent me all those videos of your heyday being in the ring with John Cena and Hulk Hogan, I sent those right over to Will, and he was very impressed.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. Before you go on about your life, I need to know, does it sound better now?
Let
From
me
the
check.
video.
Hold on. I'm going to turn it on the TV.
And can you guys hear the, okay, because Mike said
Oh,
he
yeah.
couldn't.
Oh,
Much
yeah.
better. Oh,
Much
We're
better.
back. We're
Okay,
back.
good,
We're back in the game.
And I guess you can hear the call now too, I hope.
What was the setting? What was up?
It's
Are you an engineer? Why do you care?
it's StreamYard. There was just yeah, we can hear him. Okay, great. This is phenomenal. This is a game changer.
Good.
Frankly.
I think you just made Will's day, Joe.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. That's what I aim to do. I mean, I can't do anything else but lay in a bed all day, so I might as well make people's day while I'm at it.
That's very true. I hope I didn't. I mean, listen, I'm just being honest. I'm not really trying to offend or not offend anyone by saying what I said, but I don't know how active your lifestyle was. I know you were doing angel dust with Puerto Rican hookers.
Nice.
That was only 1 year, and there was
Okay.
never hookers.
Just 1
There
year.
was never hookers.
Okay, sorry. Well, in my mind she was. But me, I've been a very active person my whole life. So I feel like if I couldn't use my legs, and especially if I couldn't use my legs and my arms, I want to be put out of my misery.
I understand, and it's really tough. See, I've come to peace with the fact of my situation. And I'm like, I could tolerate the pain and I could tolerate the being alone all day and all that stuff and the miserable care that I get. And that's kind of where it changed, because when I was home, I hired my own people. When I was home, I trained my own people. Now I'm stuck with people that are in their 70s and none of them want to work. None of them want to do anything.
Do you
They
have a
all complain.
colostomy bag?
No, I did have one though. When I first came out of my first.
Do the doo-doo?
The caca? I have a bedpan.
But someone has to wipe you, right?
No, not really. All they got to do is kind of slide the bedpan out from underneath me and then just feed me washcloths so I can wipe myself. Because I'll do a better job than anybody else. That's why, I just, once in a while, I'll clean my whole body from head to toe.
Yeah.
And today was the day. I usually do it on Wednesdays and then a half-ass cleaning on Saturday.
So you never really, take a shower?
They have a shower here, and they said if I could get into a wheelchair, that they could wheel me in and just, shower me. Like, they really want me to get into the shower so bad.
That's what I was gonna say. Take them outside, Tommy boy.
But I'm gonna
like my dad used to do when I was like 7 coming home from the beach. Yeah,
I'd go for that. If they could roll my bed through the door, roll me outside, hose me down in the bed. I don't care. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm so much cleaner than anybody else because I have the.
How do you know you don't see anyone else?
Oh, I see people that come in and out of my room all day, whether I want them to or not. There's, I see a nurse 3 times a day. I see my CNA 3 times a day.
But you're cleaner than them.
Oh yeah, by far.
They are like moving and sweating.
Yeah.
So
I sweat too. I'm not gonna lie to you. For some reason,
true. The meat sweats, right? I know.
Yep. Big time. You get them now too?
No, I don't.
I never had that problem. That's all new.
Joe, can I ask you? I got to get the show started, and I do appreciate you calling and letting me know about that. And I'm glad you're our first call on the show.
Me too.
Yeah. So how did you end up where you're at? I've heard the story that you were doing drugs with prostitutes, but what was the what happened? You know what I mean?
Okay, so first let me correct the prostitutes again. We've never had prostitutes. I've had a harem of hot, young, attractive females that are all over 20. So that was how I rolled. I had a Cadillac. I had nice dress clothes, pocket full of money. I had everything in the world that the world.
What was your job? What was your job?
I own my own business. So for 16 years, I was in the liquor business.
Okay.
And then at 30, I got out, and then I own my own Kirby vacuum distributorship.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Yeah. So it taught me a lot of communication skills. I was in like 4 different people's homes a day, 7 days a week. And I didn't even take off Thanksgiving or Christmas because I really didn't have anything to go for. I never really had any family except for my mom. And I took her and my dog for granted. So now I'm kicking myself. Here they sit. My dog's ashes and my mom's ashes are sitting right here in this room.
Oh my
and
gosh.
and I have to reflect on the fact of how all the times I was mean to my mom, or all the times I went out partying.
How old are you again?
instead of being-
45?
Yeah, I'm 45. I'll be 46 in July.
Oh wow. Okay.
But wait, what happened? Were
Okay,
you-
so I had to correct the prostitutes. I did do the angel dust after the problem started. So the problem started, I was walking on the beach, and all of a sudden my right foot hurt so much. I'm driving home from the beach. I couldn't even press the gas pedal.
Blood
my right
clot?
foot and ankle. I don't know, but I fought it off. And then the next weekend we went to Six Flags, and it came back, and this time it never went away. So I waited 6 months, but then I finally went to the emergency room, and they did blood work, x-rays, ultrasounds. They couldn't come up with nothing. So they sent me hobbling back to my car, and then I went back to work, and then I just couldn't walk anymore. It just hurt so much. So then finally I had to see so many specialists and so many different situations. Meanwhile, this infection that started in my foot is crawling up both my legs. So now, yeah, the sugar foot. Yeah, I know
So
it's
you have
funny,
diabetes?
but I didn't have diabetes before this started. They've given me once I went to that emergency room that one time, that was the beginning of the end for me, because I should have probably just let it rip and then just kept going. But instead, once they got their dirty hospital teeth into me, is a wrap. They
So you got
gave
an
me
infection.
diabetes.
You got an infection from the hospital.
No, the infection, I believe I must have got it at the beach, because it started right there at the beach, unless
Okay.
it started before that. But it started in my right foot, destroyed both my legs. Now I guess I have no cartilage in either one of my knees. They tried one of those cortisone shots, didn't work. They tried every medicine under the sun. Meanwhile, I did try every
Was it
medicine
like
under
a
the sun.
tick or something? Like a Lyme disease, or you know what I mean?
I'm going with parasitic infection.
Yeah.
That's what I'm going with. Tearing my body apart from the inside, because it's made its way up, and it's ruined my whole body from top to bottom. But the thing is, I tried it. I tried cocaine. I tried all the pills.
Yeah.
I tried everything under the sun, and nothing would work. And then this girl gave me a blunt of angel dust. And when I smoked it, my brain tricked my foot into thinking that I wasn't in pain anymore.
Oh wow.
And I was walking, and I was, oh my God, it was amazing. So I had that on check.
Is that PCP or meth? Angel dust.
That's
PCP.
PCP. I never tried meth.
That's what Rodney
Yep.
King was on when he was taking on 10 white cops and winning.
Yeah. Your body just turns
It's
into a
awesome.
cloud.
I'm not gonna lie to you, it's really awesome. But that was the thing that was helping me. But then I got caught with it, and then I went to jail. And I got good medical care while I was in jail.
Oh, that's nice.
That was the first time I really
What's
got to
worse,
find out what it was like.
jail or where you're at now?
Where I'm at now is 100 times worse than
Oh,
jail.
wow.
The food in jail is so much better. The camaraderie is so much better. Oh yeah.
Do you get
Everything is
bananas in jail? Because you always post for
No,
bananas.
no.
So you get some
I
fruit.
wasn't on the banana. I wasn't on the banana trip then. I only got out of jail, and then I got into bananas.
Wow.
Yeah, I didn't learn
No, I
anything
think
about
your life
bananas
is
while in
better
jail.
now, because you probably wouldn't be able to get like Papa John's in prison or Chipotle,
Yeah,
or
but you know,
donuts at your
when
leisure.
you're in prison, that stuff doesn't matter.
What do you
Because you don't think about that stuff. You just think about surviving every day. You don't think about,
Oh.
oh man, I wish I could get a Papa John's pizza. Like, you don't even think about that. You just think about, man, I just can't wait till lunch comes. Hopefully I can get an extra tray. Like, that's my mind state.
Well, Joe, I appreciate the time. I do got it. We're already halfway through the half an hour here, but it's good to talk to you, and we'll do more of this.
Yeah, I'd like to. You know what I was thinking about doing? I was thinking about doing a YouTube stream and talking about from the first second that what happened to me started, and streaming forever, however long it takes to get the entire story told right
that's
up to this
great.
moment.
Sugarfoot memoir. I like it.
Well, Buzzard Bob's got the same legs that I had when I was
don't
at my
get me
worst.
started
Right
on
before,
Buzzard Bob. We know
Yep,
what sort
right
of dirty things he's into. That little
so
dirty
he
birdie.
posted a picture of his legs, and they look exactly like my legs when all this started. When I almost died when I was septic.
Did you tell him like,
So-
hey, bud, this is your future?
I haven't talked to him. If I could, I would tell him.
Doesn't he hate
Here's
you?
what you need to do. So he does, huh?
Doesn't he hate you?
Everybody does.
That's right.
Every single person hates me. There's not one single person left that
We love
supports me in any
you,
type of way.
Will and I.
I know.
Don't shrug. Don't shrug.
I know. I'm just, and I appreciate you, and that's why I'm here.
Good. Here meaning like alive or calling
No,
in?
I'm here in this moment because of you.
Thank you.
Yeah, true.
That-
that.
We
that-
adore you,
that-
Joe, and I'm sorry that your situation is so trash, but it seems like you've made the best of it.
Just keep in mind, you asked. If you didn't ask, I would have nothing but positive things to say. I dig
No, we
positivity out of
definitely
every
summoned
area.
you, beckoned you to tell us your story.
No, I asked. Yeah, I wanted to know. So I'm glad I got to know now. Joe,
Stay away from
Awesome.
Puerto Rican hookers and angel dust.
That's the-
PCP.
that's
They
the
don't.
world.
They
We're
don't
not
have Puerto
crazy.
Ricans or angel dust out here, so I'm all
That's
set.
great.
I can't even get
I mean, more
Jamaican
of like
food.
a PSA to the audience.
Oh, okay, cool
Yeah.
deal. Well, thank you, my friends. This has been fun, and I look forward to doing it in the future.
all right, Joe.
Bye, Joe.
Take care.
Yeah,
man.
God bless.
See ya.
God bless. Oh, I used to say that all the
There he
time.
goes. Wow. Finally got to talk to Joe.
You've never heard his voice before, hey?
Well, he's left messages, and
Oh,
you can
right.
do that as well too. 813-693-2124. We are taking live calls. Probably, well, let's do a story, and then in the back end, because we've been going way over the, hour. Sometimes we're going an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Well, we went to
sometimes.
like 2.5 last week with Eric.
Yeah. So that's a good reason. This it's obviously free if you miss it, but to join live on Wednesday, you can tune in, watch the whole show, call in, leave comments. You can do all that stuff. So that's the incentive to tune in live. If you can't, like audio only, you can join the Substack. I made it as cheap as I possibly could. Also, just join Substack anyway. There is a free version. You can get the free podcast that comes out on Sundays early on Wednesday. I put them up right after we're done here, so you can get access to that right away. And Rumble, YouTube, all that good stuff. And then we
Sorry,
play
I had a
Aaron.
itch.
That's all right. Radio St. Pete on
So disgusting.
on Sunday, and the podcast is released on Sunday as well. And then the vidcast, if you missed it, comes out on Sunday. So anyway, there's so much politics stuff going on.
Yeah, where does one start?
I was looking at like, do we want to talk about all the things that are happening? There's so much happening. I can't keep up with it, and I'm
Can
a
I
news
see
junkie.
the prep sheet? Because I mean, it was definitely like full by the time I even got to it.
Yeah.
Do we want to talk about maybe a fun thing like Kanye West and his naked wife?
Yeah, I was thinking, even though it's sort of political,
Is it?
since he's the most famous person in Tampa Bay,
oh,
the Hulkster.
oh yeah, okay, yes,
The Hulkster. He got booed
bad.
at Raw Netflix debut, and Hogan, whose real name is Terry Bollea, blamed his right-wing political leanings for why WWE fans booed him mercilessly on the surprise return of Raw on January 6th, the national holiday that he celebrates. Here he is on the Pat McAfee show explaining that.
Then, as a friend of Trump, you go speak for Trump. Then you piss off about half of the country.
Yeah.
Are you still in the middle of feeling that? Like at the Intuit Dome, I don't think any of us expected.
No, oh, I did.
You expected that because
Yeah.
of the political stuff,
Well,
or
not so much
because of
political
everything
stuff,
else?
But you got to realize, last time I ran hard in LA, I was a bad guy. I was Hollywood Hogan, man. I was riding dirty with the boys, Nash and Hall, and we were spray painting people and crotch shotting everybody, and started out with the too sweet stuff. So last time I was there, I was a heel, but I think the politics had a whole lot to do with it, like you said.
I would say, yeah, I would assume
Yeah.
you get into
But, bro-
politics and also some other stuff,
Yeah, of course. But at the end,
Yeah. I mean, when you're in a public eye for 40 years,
yeah, you do slip and fall a couple times.
yeah, and they're going to see it.
But
Everybody's gonna see
anyway,
it.
at the end of the day, we kind of looked at it the next day because, I had like 11 billion impressions, and some of the other guys, some of the big stars that were on that car that night only had like 3 billion. I don't name names, but, we were
So you were like,
Oh, yeah, I was like, ooh, hating some more.
We actually ran a press conference the day after. I don't know if you got a chance to see it from the Hulkster, but we have a lot of questions for you. Is that okay?
Yeah, but the one thing is, I was talking about the beer. We're in a relationship with the WWE. They're my partner in this thing, and I had to be a good guy in LA.
Yes.
Now, if this was for wrestling, and they turned on me like that, I'd have turned into Hollywood Hulk. And I said,
Oh, hell yeah.
so you hate me for everything I've done for all the Make-A-Wish kids and everything I did for your kids? Well, guess what? I did it for the money. and by the way, since you want so much hatred coming your way, I hope you have a good time when Kamala Harris, is your new governor, and you're all standing in the soup line. Mic drop. See you.
Jeez Louise.
But I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
But I was ready. I was ready to go after him.
Well, I thought.
Yeah. So I mean, it was in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
That event.
I just don't think it was over the politics.
What could it have been though?
Just everyone hates him because he sucks.
He does. I
Yeah,
feel
he's,
like everybody
tired
loves.
and annoying, and he just won't die. Go away already. I think people are sick of him. Maybe it is because of the politics. I don't know. It's LA. But let me ask you this.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've asked the boyfriend this as well, but maybe you have more insight.
Mhm.
You're you're not a wrestling guy, but okay, the demographic of people who watch WWE, which no offense, Joe, is atrocious. It's disgusting. It's absolutely abysmal. But the demographic of people, can you describe the arc? I understand there's probably a range. Describe the archetype of person that is a WWE fan. Are they, I'm assuming in my mind, it's the people that go to Comic-Con, but maybe a little bit cooler. Does that make sense? They're into cartoons, but they're into fake, I can't swear, fake stuff. They
Well, don't say wrestling's fake now. I gotta stop you.
Well, yeah,
because we know that wrestling isn't fake. It's predetermined.
Choreographed.
Yes,
It's
right.
choreographed. It's rehearsed. Whatever. It's written. It's scripted. But it definitely involves a lot of athleticism. I would never deny that.
Sure, put their bodies on the line.
Oh, every day, 100%. But what is the archetype of person? Are they the kind of person that would be into Pokemon and stuff? Because that's what I'm saying. Anime, Pokemon, Comic-Con, wrestling.
Yeah. It's it's weird. I did watch wrestling as even a teenager, late teenager, probably till I was about 16.
Okay, but that's kind of who it's
yeah. I mean, I was
for.
a kid
Yeah.
at that time. I think though that in the beginning in the 90s, well, it used to be on TV, and I think all sorts of folks watched it. In the 40s and 50s, it was kind of just
Not a
something
lot
to
was
do.
on back then.
That's true.
So
That's true. But people would go and watch it, and then it kind of became in the 90s. It was kind of candy gumball, for kids.
yeah.
Then that's where the Hulkster kind of rose to fame,
Yes.
right? Take your vitamins, say your prayers, that type of stuff. Then in the late 90s, the Attitude Era happened, and that's when I got super into it.
The
'Cause it was-
Attitude Era.
Yeah, it was
What does
called
that
it was
mean?
called the Attitude Era. Essentially, what it was a male soap opera. So they had real storylines, people getting shot, who shot this person. I mean, it was really a male soap opera. So at that point, I was still a kid. I don't know if there is an average kind of archetype of what a wrestling fan is, because I think it covers a vast amount of people. I would say probably overwhelmingly male.
Oh, certainly. May I throw out a few adjectives?
Sure.
Overweight,
I mean,
autistic.
no, I wouldn't say so.
Maybe not great with women.
Maybe. They are kind of
Arrested
dorks.
Development.
I would say dorks, maybe a little bit.
Okay.
Not nerds, because nerds are smart. So kind of dorky, maybe.
Geeks.
They like Godsmack. That's her favorite band. Does that make sense?
Couldn't even name a song. I've heard of Godsmack.
Okay.
Maybe it's
Tool.
Metallica.
They like Tool.
Dr.
Tool
Can's favorite
rules.
band is Tool.
Yeah. Tool rocks. And I'm gonna go see SmackDown.
Okay.
this Thursday.
Yeah.
But I don't know what it's like now. I think it's more because you had to calm it down because it got too intense. The storylines.
Do the fans at sports games, the fans will get drunk and they will fight each other.
Yeah.
You would think that these fans would be the most aggressive because all they see are fights, in quotes.
Yeah.
But is that not the case? Are they kind of more tame than a sports fan would be?
Well, I think it's one of those things that people know now for sure that it is not fake, but predetermined.
Of course.
So I think they understand that it's kind of just a good escape. You're watching, a soap opera you're watching a play, essentially, a
Yeah.
Broadway play in an arena.
That's a really good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Because now I feel like it's art. And I completely
Yeah.
dismissed it as not a creative art at all. I just thought it was annoying.
Oh,
But it seems like there is like an art to it. It seems a creative.
I
Art.
think so. I think so because they have to, like you said, choreograph everything. It's a dance. You know, you obviously run the risk of, I mean, you really beat up your body.
Sure.
So I think it takes, a real talent. And then you also have to not only have the athletic ability, but you also have to have charisma as well to win over an audience. So you have to be a performer. You're like, everybody's Hugh Jackman, essentially. They can sing, they can dance, they can do it all, they can act.
Do they really have to have charisma, or are they just like kind of playing a character for 10 minutes?
But I think that's part of it because you have to charm an audience either in a negative way where you get the heel characters or a positive way where you're kind of like a superhero like Hulk Hogan was.
Does everyone boo the heel, or do some people like love the heel?
Some people love them.
Okay.
They're just, they're the black hats. They're kind of, you root for the bad guy.
Sure. I didn't know if like they're a fan favorite, like all the heels are a fan favorite or not necessarily.
I would say the majority are not. I mean, heels are there for a reason to root against, but there's always people who stand out against the crowd, right? And kind of
the rebels.
Root for the rebel, the bad guy.
Because my thing is, at least my hypothesis is maybe that people who liked it as kids and just kind of it's nostalgic for them, like they never really grew out of it. But then you got to think like all the characters that they were into as kids are not in it anymore.
Yeah.
So
well, no, I mean a lot of the ones that surprisingly, like I saw that they had all the guys, Hogan and a bunch of them came back. I don't know how many are actually wrestling. I think
mean,
The Rock
just
will
kind of
pop
make a
in
cameo and
cameo.
out,
They're not like back wrestling full time or anything like that.
Yeah.
Old timers. But I mean, so what is your theory then if Hulk Hogan didn't get booed, I should say, for going to that Donald Trump rally in California? What do you think it was? Just that he's annoying?
Do people think he was like a sellout or something like that? Like I know he's partnered with WWE with like to promote his beer. He's just always like promoting his beer or his is it weed or like mushrooms or like THC?
I think that's Ric Flair. Ric Flair's got the wheat.
Oh, okay. I know he's got something else. I thought it was like mushrooms or psilocybin. I don't know what it was, but I think he's annoying. I think he's obnoxious. I feel like I know him just by proxy to.
Oh my God, you heard about him every day for years. I'm sure.
It just I felt like I knew him. I saw him once, which was kind of cool. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I was perusing around Hogan's Hangout on Clearwater Beach, and there was like a crowd forming, and we started following this black car that we believed had Hogan in it and with tinted windows, and the car like parked and out popped Hogan, and I was like, no way. And then I was like, I miss you, buddy. Hootie, miss you.
Yeah, I saw him. I've only seen him, I think, one time, and he lived like right down the road from me growing up, and it was at the movies. I was probably like 14.
Yeah.
And he just came strolling in. I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Hulkster.
Yeah, he's hard to miss. Oh, also another reason why I don't like him is his kid sucks. His kid sucks.
Oh.
Just an effing loser.
Have you met him?
No.
Okay.
No, but he's a loser. I know he got in that car wreck and like vegetableized his friend, whatever, 17.
We all make mistakes.
Right. But then the whole like driving drunk when his dad lives like a mile away. What do you know the DUI thing where did you see the body cam footage where like Hogan shows up after they had Nick in custody? It was just really annoying, and he's just one of those, what do they call it? Like a Nepo baby. He's a Nepo baby, and he's annoying, and his son sucks, and he did a really bad job with him as a father. I
disagree. I think the Hulkster rules.
Okay. Agree to disagree.
Yeah, if you ever need a podcast, Hulk, and you need somebody to produce it, I hope you'll consider me. I have a long experience and background in podcasting and radio, so I could definitely help you. And I think Nick rules. I think that kid.
You trying to get a job with him or something?
I'm just saying, like, I don't know what his needs are.
Yeah.
And,
Pain pills.
let's have some shots and go for a drive. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun on Clearwater Beach.
You know, to be fair, I feel like I have some misdirected, not anger, but just like annoyance towards him because I had to hear his life story every day for 4 years.
Oh yeah.
So I just like don't want to talk about him ever again because not that I was like traumatized, but every day, well, you know, this is exactly how I was railroaded by my best friend Hootie. I'm just like, dude, shut up. Never want to hear about Hulk Hogan again.
Yeah.
Unless he gets hit by like a car or something, then whatever.
Damn.
But yeah, I'm
Harsh.
done.
Wowie.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, we'll leave it there. Thank you, Joe. This was Hulk Hogan and Joe. That's what I'm going to call this.
Which is so apropos because Joe has a giant tattoo of Hulk Hogan on his back.
That's true. He does. I did see that. That's a lot of commitment. A lot of commitment there, my friend. All right. So we'll say goodbye to Radio St. Pete. Thank you, Radio St. Pete. And we'll say goodbye to free podcast listeners. Thank you for joining us. If you would like to, you can join the Substack, hmbradio.substack.com. We're going to do extra time now. willsyoutube.com, Rumble, and Facebook. We'll talk to you soon. Goodbye. And we're back. Just like that. And we can cuss now. If you want to call in, you can do that now. 813-693-2124. The number is scrolling there. You know, now is just fun after fun time. So I'm having a really hard time finding something that's not political. There's been just so much going on that I can't keep up with the news. This is really smart, by the way. Sorry, but this is really smart.
Okay. What did I do?
This new administration's end, just going balls to the wall. You can't write a story in time before there's a bigger story that has come up.
12 hours later.
12 hours later.
Yeah.
He's doing, I remember us talking before the election and we were saying like, what needs to be done? What do you want to see him do? And I said, he's got to start like boarding up, like do denazification strategy and just start boarding up these government.
What did you say?
The denazification strategy after World War II.
Oh, okay.
They just like boarded up all the, you know, those guys' places.
Yeah.
Because how do you get rid of an ideology? Obviously, there's a lot of people who are survived that were in that party, right?
Well, they killed a lot of people. A lot of people had to die for Nazism to.
But there's still a lot of people who were in that political party after the war ended, right? So what do you have to do to be like, yeah, this is over?
Well, there's one of two things. A, you abscond to South America, perhaps Argentina, and start your own little Bavarian community. Or B, we snag you and put you at the head of NASA and get us to the moon, baby.
That's one strategy. Yeah, you can do that.
Operation Paperclip.
And there were some that did. And we thank them for their service. But I said that you need to literally board up these places where this bureaucratic power lives. Did I think he was going to do it? No. He fucking did it, man. He went, first thing he did was, I've heard of this USAID, USAID, got started back with John
61.
Kennedy, I believe in 61. And it kind of became the criticism that you hear from people, you know, people that I follow and listen to, is that essentially a slush fund got just taken over by the CIA for passion projects. It's got a huge budget, like something like 40 billion a year.
I think 50. Yeah.
Oh my God. It's so much money.
And you know what's so deceiving is the acronym. It's like, it's USAID.
Right.
It's sending help to people that need it.
That's all it does.
So why not?
Why not? Well, it's just much like any sort of bureaucracy, it just gets taken over. And I think it has good intention. I'm sure USAID now, you know, and that was a criticism that people were leveling out, is like, it's providing aid to people, which, yeah, it was some of it, but a lot of it was just going to like just horse shit.
May I interject?
Sure.
You know, Jeffrey Epstein donated a lot of money to science. He invested in a lot of medical programs and science programs, I believe, especially at Harvard Medical, Harvard, I want to say mathematics, because I listened to Eric Weinstein's interaction with him. So you could be like, well, he's a philanthropist then. Yes, but he's really not defined by that. He's kind of defined by the blackmail sex ring of underage girls that he was kind of running for many years.
Mhm.
And the same is true with this. And I love how the people who are critical of boarding this place up are like, it gives aid to Uganda. I'm like, I'm sure it does give $12 to Uganda, but it's also giving money to what were some of the most ridiculous things, like DEI programs in Serbia?
It was like a trans
play in Ireland,
Colombia or something, and
an opera. Yeah, 47,000 here, 5 million here. It's just absolutely ridiculous.
So much money going to that sort of stuff. And we have, like, you know, not to sound like a boomer, but we have crumbling roads here that need to be fixed. We need aid here.
US aid in US.
In 1961, I wasn't alive then, but it looked pretty good outside of, you know, obviously.
Cold War.
Yeah, that and then civil rights were not good here. But the infrastructure,
were.
I guess for me, maybe. Yeah. But the infrastructure was good. You know, the interstates were just built, like things were kind of cooking. And you probably had been like, we're doing so well. Let's try to get some of these nations caught up a little bit. Let's just give them money. Obviously, that doesn't work usually.
No.
But, you know, you get it. You get the concept of it, of charity. That's good. I'm not sure if I agree with, you know, forced charity where you're taking money from a taxpayer and giving it to some other country for, you know, whatever. But I don't think it was in 1961. I don't think it was trans plays in Colombia.
Probably not.
I just doubt it. So this USAID, he boarded it up. He signed an executive order essentially. Well, I guess it's under now Marco Rubio in the Department of State.
Yeah, the State Department. He's taking it over, Marco Rubio, I think it is.
Temporarily,
temporarily, yes. And I think most, unless you're like an essential worker, you're told to stay home. And I believe he's offered a lot of these employees like buyouts.
Yeah.
So,
and I think 20,000 so far. There are 2 million. That's another.
And all of them have salaries, by the way. So it's not just like the 40 billion or 50 billion in the slush fund. It's all those people's salaries that are collecting our money and sending it over to Serbia for DEI stuff.
And there's, I think, 20,000 federal workers have taken this buyout. So he's delivering his case of silver to all the people who kind of pledge their allegiance there. He's kind of doing it the right way historically. I keep on losing my train of thought. I'm sorry. I keep looking at the phone, waiting for it to ring.
Do you want me to turn it over?
What do you mean?
Like, and then,
nah, it doesn't matter.
All right.
But anyway, so he shut this thing down essentially. I don't know if it's going to be permanently closed now, but this was the big one. Everybody who is in the know, I guess, about these things are kind of cheering this on as a really big deal.
Yeah,
big deal.
absolutely.
Then he goes, yeah, you know what? We're also gonna get rid of the Department of Education. Oh my God. I mean, like, you just can't. It's a good strategy to just go balls to the wall because, like I said, you just can't keep up. The journalists cannot keep up with all the big story. They can't write a story fast enough before something major happens.
Yeah, that happened. And then, like, last night, he's like, by the way, we're taking over Gaza.
Oh my God.
I'm like, he's building a Trump tower in the middle of Rafah. Like, what's going on? And then suddenly today, executive order, no transgender athletes in women's sports. You know, it's just like boom, 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 boom. And these the people who oppose him I feel like at some point they have to get tired enough where the outrage must melt away because there's just I don't think they have enough energy to be upset every single day.
You're totally, that's another thing. Not only the newspapers can't keep up, but people can't. I can't keep up. I'm a news hound. I can't keep up with it. I'm shocked every time I open, you know, the news app and see what's going on. I'm like, oh my God, he's doing this now. It's a good strategy on his end. There was a lot of shit that we can curse now. It's okay. Yeah. There was a lot of shit, including I saw yesterday that Politico. Do you know Politico, the news outlet?
Yep.
I think it's a subsidiary of the Times, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you know more than me. I don't know anything about this.
So they didn't get paychecks this week. And people, at first, I saw somebody say something about, they're funded by USAID or something. Turns out they're funded by USAID.
They're funded by the government.
By the government. Now
These
they do it,
journalists are funded by the government when they're
But
supposed to be the
Yes.
critics of the government.
but they're doing it in a smart way. They just bought subscriptions for bureaucrats that work in the agency, so they have a Politico subscription now. But it's to the
Well,
tune of something like $8 million.
Well, hold on. So you're saying that the people who work in the people who are employed by USAID
Yes.
bought subscriptions to Politico.
Well, it was bought for them by the whoever makes the decisions there. So it's funded directly, but sort of indirectly because it's just subscriptions. But all the people that work there have a subscription to Politico, and it's something to the tune of like $8 million a year. Then, guess who else? The Associated Press is funded in a large part by grants from USAID. Guess who else is funded? I mean, this is a good thing. We live in a time where you can't keep up with news. You can totally bypass journalists or anything. You could just go on Twitter, man, or X and find this stuff. And they have links and everything. Like, you can check it out yourself. It's not just a screenshot from some guy. You can't obviously trust that. You have to find a link to somewhere. And it's just them saying, yeah, we take money from USAID. It's also funding the BBC. It's the second biggest contributor to the British Broadcasting Company. That's how they're paying their. So why is an American aid entity funding the BBC?
For like favorable news to them.
To push an agenda, obviously. And then it's not.
And then, but here's not that isn't a problem. It is, but here's the thing: like, if it all swings one way, then it becomes problematic. So if you're paying this entity BBC because they're left wing, they're pushing a left wing agenda. You know, it's not like they're just pushing an American agenda where anything we do is good, sort of a thing. It just seems like it's only pushing in one direction. Does that make sense?
Right. And that's because these, I guess it's because these places have been staffed by people with that sort of worldview. It's kind of hard to do it because there's 2 million federal employees. 2 million. That's what, like 0.8% of the country is employed by the federal government. It's a lot. Federal government wasn't supposed to be this bloat. I don't understand why anybody's mad at this.
But people are very mad at this.
Oh, I know. They're furious. They didn't know what this organization was until yesterday, but they're very mad about it. Even in
wait, who's mad?
Just people who are mad.
Well, I mean,
online.
I'm talking about, like, are you saying that like the right is enraged because they didn't realize how much was being wasted, or the left is enraged because they're shutting this down?
Oh, well, I suppose both, but I was more speaking about the the Democrats who are screaming their heads off about Elon. Elon's taking a lot. That's another thing. Donald's not even taking really the heat this time. It's all Elon. They're all pissed at Elon.
Yeah. They're like, we didn't vote for this guy. Not one. What did Elizabeth Warren say? She said, not one Democrat, not one Republican, not one Libertarian, not even one vegetarian. That's what she said. And everyone was like, oh, Maxine Waters is like, you go, girl. But that's what all these fucking, leave me out of this. That's what all these fucking bureaucracies are. They're all, that's the point, is that they're all unelected officials that are spending $40 billion a year, are tasked with this through government power. Elon's a special government employee that Donald Trump hired. So what the fuck are you talking about? Let me ask you this. I don't understand why you're mad. I mean, I know why you're mad, but you should, that argument's stupid. Let me ask you this, and this is probably a dumb question, but I'm going to ask it anyways. So the Democrats that are upset by this, like, USAID kind of folding under, they're getting funded by it. I've heard some people say, like, well, Elon said it, but I didn't know if it was like in anger, like, oh, that's because they're lining their pockets with that stuff. But then it's also like, okay, but there's also Republicans in Congress that are happy that this is going under. Mm-hmm. So, is it just is all of Congress or are elected officials benefiting from this? Or is it just the Democrats that are benefiting from this? Or is it just because they're in line with the kind of the Soros big picture agenda and that's what makes their constituents happy? So they have to be outraged by the end of this USAID sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, why isn't, like, if I was getting money too, and I'd like to think I'm a better person, but if I'm not, and I'm getting money and I'm a Republican and I'm in Congress, like, I'm still going to be kind of annoyed, but maybe secretly annoyed. I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
who's benefiting and why are they so upset?
well, I mean, there's certainly a lot of people that are living off of this money.
No, I
doing
understand
passion
that.
projects and yeah.
But I mean, like Chuck Schumer, like is he getting paid by USAID?
Probably.
Is AOC, is Ilhan Omar, that disgusting rat?
Oh, jeez.
Did you see
Shots
her?
fired.
Did you see she was like speaking in Somali to like these Somalian people in Minnesota and speaking in Somali so that nobody knew what she was saying? She was telling them like how to evade ICE and like what to do so that you won't get deported even if you're here illegally.
Yeah.
I guess you have to marry your brother.
I did see that. God, I got so many things running through my mind. I'm losing track of my
It's
thoughts.
okay. You
here.
pinched a nerve. You're all messed up.
Yeah, well, that too. I can't turn my head.
Obviously they're benefiting from it, or the people that are lining their pockets are benefiting from it, so they have to be upset on like their donor's behalf or something like that.
Well, I think it's just taking the opposite side too, right?
That
If they're
as well.
doing this, then obviously it's
by
bad.
default, I have to just be enraged. Yeah. Well, it's really fun to see. And I just saw earlier today this clip of Trump and someone reposted it and he's like, we're going to win so hard. You're going to be tired of winning, just winning. That's all we're going to do. And it really feels that way. Like, I'm just like, whoa, what? Every day I'm like, whoa, like I didn't know you could do that. But here's the thing about Donald Trump. And I was thinking about this the other day. You're looking at a man who hasn't had a boss in probably 60 years. He's never taken an order from someone in probably 60 years. He's on a different level. You and I have had to be accountable to people. We've had to take orders from people, or we've been given assignments. This motherfucker has never been told what to do in 60 years. So to him, the world is his oyster. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. You know what I mean?
Well, he didn't do it the first time around. He seems to have learned a big lesson.
Well, he didn't really know how to do the job.
I didn't know. Yeah,
but now
clearly
he knows
not.
what the fuck is up, and he's got, it seems, the right people in the right places.
I think he was actually trying to be like cool and not doing some of these things, even
Last
though,
time?
yeah, just trying to appease everybody, and people just shrieked. And then he was like, people are going to yell at me anyways.
Might
so
as well.
and the crazy thing about it is they're not even really yelling at him. They're yelling at Elon. He took the heat off him. They're just yelling at Elon Musk.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's good. I'm glad the government is being audited. I'm under the belief that the federal government should be really as small as possible, if not existent at all. So I mean, I don't care if Elon's doing it. I don't care who's doing it. I'm just glad that somebody's doing it.
Somebody is watching them.
And they already found 226 billion in overpayments, and just shit with that.
Feels like the best spring cleaning.
Yeah.
We're just like, look at all this extra money that we can help American citizens with, or vets, or, people who deserve it, who are American citizens. So much crazy stuff. Like, I didn't realize that you could just send prisoners elsewhere. Those big mega prisons in El Salvador, they're talking about sending
I don't
U.S. criminals over there for a payment.
Don't do that, dude.
Interesting stuff.
Yeah, don't do that.
Why not?
Well, we don't need to do that. Sending a foreign, you're going to a foreign prison. You're an American citizen.
Mm-hmm. We should be dealing with them.
We should deal with
But they're also like, these aren't people who evaded taxes. These are disgusting criminals, rapists,
they're American
murderers,
citizens. You can't send them to a jail. That dude is tough though. The guy in
El Salvador.
Yeah,
I don't know his name, but he's young. He's 43.
Yeah,
and he turned that place around.
Oh, super safe now. Yeah,
yeah, he turned that place around, which is awesome. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't think I'd be too upset about it.
Yeah, I just
we be giving them money. It's not like they're doing us just a favor. It's
well, I'm not even worried about the money. I'm worried about there are sometimes people who are wrongfully convicted, or you still have rights even if you committed a crime as a citizen.
Sure.
I just don't like the idea of sending citizens to a
because then it's
foreign
like
country's prison.
right? Because they're really not subject to the same rules and regulations, so they could be tortured.
I mean, I know that obviously the American prison system is not good either, especially the for-profit prisons. There's a lot of criticism there. When you make something for profit, obviously it incentivizes
Sure.
people to get thrown in prison so they can keep
Mhm.
that profit going.
Of course.
So definitely a lot of reform needs to be done. But yeah, I don't like the idea of just shipping our criminals
Yeah.
to El Salvador.
I want to say you're right, but it's hard for me to have sympathy for people who are, serial killers. And
Well, what if they're wrongfully convicted?
yeah, that happens sometimes. But I mean, I don't know if it like they've confessed or
How do you do the appeal process from El Salvador? Like, I don't know.
I mean, I think this is people who there's no appeal. They did it. They're on, going to be in prison for life.
Yeah.
So.
Oh my God, that's another thing. Like the deportation. Nobody's really talking about the deportations. Those are happening in mass, right? There's just shit that's going on.
Yeah.
Right now.
Kanye
I'm
West.
shocked.
And his naked fucking wife.
Yeah.
Who looks kind of like Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
Just maybe a bit slimmer,
A
shorter.
little bit. Yeah.
People are worried about her mental well-being. I just would like to meet her. I think she's like an architect. Like she's a real person with like a career. Or
I thought she was a model.
I mean, she might also be that, but I feel like she is some sort of like architect.
Architect? Really? Joe, I saw Joe say he will research that. Research that, Joe. Find out what Kanye West girl, what's her name?
Bianca
something. Bianca Kanye West job, Joe. Do that. That would be good. By the way, you can super chat if you want to get those comments read. That would be helpful if you do that, because I can actually see them. We're lucky enough to be getting quite a few comments. So sometimes they get lost in the so this guy says, yeah, she's an architect. My Uber driver stole my food. Well, I mean, do you trust my Uber driver stole my food?
What?
That's who said the comment.
I don't know. I mean, we could look it up.
I don't know either. Yeah, so that went on. Kanye, he shut down the Grammys. He showed up and she got nude there. He got kicked out, right?
She wasn't technically nude.
Well,
it was just a see-through
Here.
dress.
Yeah.
I liked it. I kind of wish that I was a paparazzi right in front where you just see those big milky titties. Did you like what you saw?
Oh, yeah.
Were they good ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From what I remember, I can't pull it up right now and show everybody.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember, Kanye's not going with no slouch, I'm sure.
No. But I mean, like sometimes certain people have a preference that other people, it's not their thing. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I like the game Would You, even though they're not my type. I don't know if I even have a type, but of course.
Well, yeah, but every once in a while you'll see an African American gentleman with just like a dump truck of a white woman. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, what?
Yeah.
But this is not the case with Kanye West. She's very beautiful.
Designer, model, and architect.
Yeah, it was just that I remember that because it's odd. I was just like, what? She's an architect? But yeah, and I think I did like look her up one time on YouTube, and she has a brain. It doesn't appear that way, but she does.
I mean, I think some people are worried that she's not
there of her own
consenting.
volition. Yeah.
She's not in a position to consent.
She seems a little bit like a sex slave sort of a thing. I don't know if she can choose her own outfits.
Yeah, it seems like he's kind of taking control of that aspect.
Like, does she ever just want to slum it up and wear some sweatpants? I mean, kind of wear what I'm wearing or something?
Maybe around the house she is,
Yeah.
But in public, she's walking around with like a sweater with like holes where the tits are.
Yeah.
And then, just bush, full out bush down below, but like a pair of jeans.
Yeah. I saw some bushes yesterday, actually, when I was watching Sex and the City.
Nice.
Yeah.
Who's Bush?
It was a scene where they were in like a steam room. So it was just like random titties. And it was, I guess, the late 90s.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember exactly what was in back then, but perhaps it was the bush. The like manicured bush. But to me, it was jarring because pubic hair is, no offense, is fucking disgusting.
Oh, really?
So,
even on men, you find it off-putting?
I would like it trim. Like I can see the hairs can be there. You don't have to be bald, but it needs to be
waxed,
buzz cut.
wax balls.
No, don't. You don't have to wax. 'Cause
Wax
then it, you get
balls.
pimply.
Yeah.
So just
Or if you shave too,
shave it
you
down
can
a
too.
little. Just buzz.
What are we
cut.
talking? A 2.5, or what
I don't
are
know
we
what
talking?
that means. What
like
is
shave down to just stubble?
it, that is all right.
Okay, that's pretty. She's saying about that.
Yeah.
So you got to put a guard on there on the razor.
Yeah.
And just give it a little like buzz cut.
Yeah.
Essentially.
That's fine.
What about balls?
I don't know. I don't really fuck with them.
You don't fuck with balls.
I mean, listen, it's not like my religion, but usually there's just not.
You ain't trying to see no ball. You ain't trying to mess with balls.
No, they are very interesting.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I've once I did like an investigation, non-sexual investigation.
Yeah.
I was like, remember saying like, this is elephant skin.
Yeah. It's very wrinkly.
It's a different skin. It reminds me of an elephant.
Mm-hmm.
And which makes sense. Like those are the family jewels.
But it's very soft skin though. It's just very wrinkly skin.
It's like a Shar-Pei.
Yeah.
But it's thick.
It doesn't have armor though. Well, it can be.
Isn't it like kind of like thick skin? You know what I mean?
But as you age, the balls
they drop,
sink lower, and then it kind of weighs down the skin, so it's actually pretty thin.
Maybe.
But if your balls are
like
up there, if it's cold, then it's like a little thicker.
Maybe that's it.
It's because it's got the wrinkles, so it can kind of
it
like an accordion.
Exactly. But I was just very like, whoa, I don't have anything like this skin on me.
So you can have,
you know what it is? It's like elbow skin.
Yeah,
it's elbow skin.
Yeah. So you like the pubic region buzzed balls. You can have hairy balls.
No. But usually, I mean, maybe on some, I feel like most of the hair is around the pubis. Maybe the balls can be hairy, of course, but they seem to. Are they usually like kind of hair, not hair free, but less hair than the pubis area? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, balls can be pretty hairy.
Okay, all right. Well, maybe I lucked out.
Yeah,
but.
Well, how do you know it's not groomed?
Maybe it is, but it just of what I've seen.
You should ask him. Are you?
He probably just does a little shoop shoop shoop.
Yeah,
but
it's
seems
tough.
Like
it's tough to groom those things because they got the skin, the elastic skin.
Right.
You got crevices, creases, and hair is relentless.
Yeah.
It doesn't care.
Gross.
What about like you don't like hairy dudes in general? Like if a guy had like back hair, how would you feel?
Again, I live with like a hairless dolphin. He's pretty hairless.
Yeah.
Back hair is unsightly. It's especially if it's like dark.
Right.
It's just I feel like I would be messing around with like a Persian man trying to sell me a rug or something. Just too much.
Made of his hair. Back hair.
Yeah. It's gross.
Yeah.
Chest hair doesn't gross me out so much.
Yeah.
But the back hair, I don't know what it is about that. It's worse than like nose hair for me. It just.
What about facial hair?
Oh yeah.
You like that?
Oh yeah.
Okay,
it's makeup for men for sure.
Yes,
I definitely prefer a little bit, not like kind of like what you're working with. Not a beard per se, but you know what I like. And a lot of I think I do jujitsu with a lot of Coast Guard guys, but the mustache.
Yeah.
It's coming back. It's kind of a vibe. And I just feel like if you have just a mustache, like you're either Indian or like a funny guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like a cool dude.
You're like a cool dude who's like, I'm in the Coast Guard. I have a mustache. No beard. Yeah. Maybe no hair on your head, but the only hair on your face is eyebrows and mustache.
Yeah, I think there was a time when mustache was like, you're a dick. But now I think mustache is like, you're a cool dude.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm a big fan of just the mustache.
Yeah.
And also facial.
Taking it back.
Yes.
Taking it back. The stash. Yeah. Yeah, the stash was really in for a little bit. I think it still is. Mullets were back for like a brief second.
They are back now.
Mullets are still back.
Especially with the children. And I just don't like that.
Yeah. I think it's parents that are probably
for sure.
Reliving their childhood.
Yeah. It's not a good look, I think, but it's my opinion.
Yeah. I like Joe's comment here. I think mustaches are homo or pedo or both. I just like the verbiage of that. That's a funny way to say that.
Which is why only a cool, funny guy could pull it off.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. 813-693-2124, the voice and text line, and also taking live calls today. So you can call in, you can curse now, you can do whatever you want. Well, I guess we'll stay live for a few more minutes. If not, then we'll go. 813-693-2124. I got in trouble again.
Oh,
work.
well, sorry, go ahead.
So I a while ago, so I don't go into the radio station. I don't have any need to. I don't work. So I do get I still have access to email, and I still have my card. It still works. So if I want to
Like
you know,
access
go
the
in there,
studio,
I could go access the studio. I just don't need to. So we do have to change our password. So like every 3 months.
I remember those days.
So, and you have to do it from a workstation. You can't just sign into your email and change it. So you have to go in. And so I was like, okay. So I got notifications I had to change my password. So I went in on Sunday to change my password. Last time I was there and did that, I noticed that my mailbox at CMG was gone.
And you are sure you had one prior to
I
that?
did have one.
Okay.
Yes, prior to that. It kind of hurt my feelings, obviously. I didn't know what happened to it. I kind of just assumed that, oh, well, he's not here anymore, so we're going to take his box down. Never got mail or anything.
And by the way, it's not like they're strapped for space.
They had plenty of
Right.
cubbies.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's definitely not space was not a premium or anything. And so I went in and I just wanted to check to see my mailbox because I messaged JoJo, the office manager there. She does on-air stuff too now.
I miss you, JoJo.
Yeah. Well, I don't think JoJo likes me anymore.
Yeah.
But like the nicest lady ever. And I saw my fucking mailbox was gone again. So it's pretty
Again, this
obvious.
is now the second time.
This is the second time. So it's pretty obvious what's going on. It's one of two people.
Who would you think it could be?
Suspects that are there. Either Gareth or Johnny is tearing down my mailbox. That's one of the things. It doesn't seem like a Johnny thing. Johnny's a big girl. So I think he would just kind of like talk about me behind my back, which is just what he did. He's not aggressive like that. Seems like a Gareth move to me. So
but you have no evidence to suggest.
I don't know. But obviously it's one. I mean, come on. Obviously it's one of them. I've had very public feuds with both of them now. So yeah, it doesn't seem like a Johnny thing. It seems like a Gareth thing. I made the mistake of letting my emotions. See, this is why it was kind of good. Like whoever did that, you kind of got me good because it pissed me off real bad. And instead of taking a breath, collecting my thoughts, I just shot off an email to JoJo.
And I've told you not to do that.
Well, I know not to do that.
I know, but I wasn't there to be like, draft it and wake up tomorrow morning, see how you feel, sort of a thing.
Yeah. So I just sent her a message and I just
it was a fucking
hey, because she
she
fixed it for me. She put it back up for me, and then obviously got taken back down again. And I was just like, I see it's gone again. Don't put it back up. I don't want it. And I guess she kind of felt like it was a personal assault on her. Now, I could see rereading it, how she would think it's like I'm mad at her. Wasn't really mad at her, but I didn't have anybody to yell at. So she was kind of just...
You yelled at the front desk lady.
I didn't yell.
Well, I'm just saying, like, metaphorically speaking.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah.
In a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I did kind of send her... And she responded back that, you know, I don't appreciate this tone or whatever. And then the next day I was like, you're right. I'm sorry. And
it was actually perfect what you wrote.
Yeah, very out of frustration. I let my emotions get the best of me. But I can't advocate for myself. I can't defend against this stuff. So sorry. No response back from her. So I don't think she likes me anymore either. So that's unfortunate. However, if you want to send mail, you can. And that's another thing. We got the phone line working now. You can also send mail to me at Cox Media Group Tampa. Just put my name on it at 11300 4th Street North, number 300. That's St. Petersburg, Florida, 33716. Send anything you want. Send a picture of your dong, boob, like whatever, butts, hairy nuts. I don't care. A letter, but
You're gonna
empty.
get flooded with mail.
Good.
Now.
That's what I want. I want to get flooded with mail, so I get my mailbox back. 11300 4th Street North, number 300. I don't know if you can see it there. Can you zoom in? How do I zoom in?
Go.
Isn't there control zoom?
I don't know, but if you go to the like the.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, hey.
Hey, how about that? Figured it out. Oh boy.
Oh dear.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh, geez.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay.
Okay. And
Now we're
down
cooking the gas.
and
There it
boom.
is. Is that better? Can you see it on here? Yeah, there we go. 11300 4th Street North, number 300, St. Petersburg, Florida, 33716. You can send me your mail, whatever you want. I don't care. Anything, literally anything. Send it. I'll reimburse you for the stamp. Don't want to make anybody's job harder. I'm just saying. I need vengeance. This is the only thing I can think of doing. So send your mail.
Plan.
No calls, huh? 813-693-2124. That's the voice and text line there. You can always leave a voicemail or a text. I got a nice text from Ryan, I think it was, in Washington, in Seattle. We were just talking about Seattle. I think he's near Seattle. So that was cool. I sent him out some stickers, so they should be heading your way soon, Ryan. If you do want some stickers, I have some very nice ones right now. Let me take this down so you can actually see it. These are, it's kind of hard to tell. Oh, Anna's disappeared.
That's okay.
Sorry.
For the best.
But these are high quality. So if you want some of those, I'll mail them to you for free. I don't know. Are we done? Should we go?
Done.
Okay. We'll just head out early today.
Early?
Well, this is kind of early. I mean, we've
Yeah.
been doing 2.5 hours sometimes.
I would think that was just last week, right?
Well,
We've been going over a bit. We
Yeah.
have, but I think we've given them.
Text me if you want the stickers, 813-693-2124, thehomemadebroadcast@gmail.com. Remember, send those letters, and I'll pick them up eventually, probably in like 3 months when I go in to change my password for the computer there. No super chats today. That's okay. All good, but we appreciate your listenership. We look forward to speaking with you. You know, we're popping on whenever we can and doing extra stuff too. So I don't know what our schedules are like the rest of the week, but maybe we'll pop back on. You never know. Make sure you subscribe, hit the bell if we go live or, you know, do a vid or whatever. You'll know about it.
Please don't send nudes, Joe.
I don't care.
Please don't.
I mean, I'd
Actually,
prefer if
you know
didn't.
what? I'm gonna take that back. Would you love to see Holyoke Joe naked? Joe, how much do you weigh roughly?
Love is a strong.
How much do you weigh? I would like to take a guess. I'm gonna
Let's
say
see if he responds
I'm
here.
gonna say 340.
340.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a big boy there.
Yeah.
I'm going like, is he tall?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna.
Oh,
395. Damn,
Oh.
Joe. Damn, dog. Yeah, that's
You need to make it to 4. I mean, this is ridiculous.
yeah, that's crazy.
You're 5 pounds shy of 400 pounds.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well,
Mm-mm-mm.
On
6'1".
that note, 6'1", 395. A svelte 395, all muscle, baby.
I mean, does it really count when you don't stand up anymore? Sorry.
It's hard to work
You're
out
long.
or do
You're
anything.
long.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you know, do what you gotta do. Joe, thanks for calling. I thought we were gonna get blown up with calls, even people being like, "Hey, fuck you," and then hanging up. We really didn't get any. It's
We had pretty good
unfortunate.
numbers today, actually. I noticed
We did. Yeah,
better
thank
than
you.
usual. So thank
Thank
you
you
guys for
guys.
tuning in. And yeah, that's it.
all the info's down there. Instagram. You know, Anna's not really fucking around with social media, but Facebook. Just go like this stuff, please. Go sign up for the Substack, even if it's the free one. You'll get the podcast early. And I don't know. We're gonna do stuff there at some point, so you know, go sign up, please. And I guess that's it. I always feel like there's things that I want to say, and I can't think of them.
Forget them.
I forget them, but I think I've said it all. So good night, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.